You can say I was wrong. That's not your job. You're not right or wrong enforcement. You're fucking law enforcement.
No, my job.
No, your job is fucking law enforcement.
I'm not gonna stand here and listen to that.
Well, then get the fuck out.
Stop cussing right now.
Get the fuck out. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Let's see what happens.
Very good. Fuck you. I ain't stopping. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Please turn.
Well, I'll just say this from like the chief's point of view is it's freedom of speech.
Okay. Y'all got a minute?
What's going on?
Well, at the other end of the ballpark is a bunch of people with a bunch of beer drinking it in the park as if it's a cultural thing with this league. And I don't know if there's something you can do, but it would be my recommendation that we look into, possibly make a recommendation to Parks and Recreation, look into the league and find out if it's a cultural thing. Because even if it's not, what I think should happen is Delhi should spank this league and tell them, somebody should send something out to all the organizers and coaches, in my opinion, and say, we have an alcohol problem up here in Delhi. They're doing it like it's a cultural norm, and this ain't, unless this is, if you wouldn't interrupt me, I'd appreciate it.
Well, I'm going to answer one thing at a time.
Okay.
So I've expressed to the guys, the coaches and the other players, that I would reach out to the trustees and get permission to be able to bring an alcoholic beverage to the games when they play.
So you're encouraging that behavior, or did they ask you about it?
But I don't think that there's a problem if they have a beer while they're playing a game of softball.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw how many beers that they actually had. It wasn't a beer while they're playing softball.
Most of the cases were full though. Like
they're drinking beforehand, they're drinking after, and where the big beer stash was, in my opinion, my guess, is in the truck that he covered over. He shut the top lid of his truck, but it sounds like it's an inherent cultural thing with this league. And it doesn't seem like you smirk at me like what's the problem, Rich?
Yeah, I do, because
you don't understand that there's a resolution that the trustees that govern this part of they have authority over this, passed a resolution because they see a problem with it. And when I bring it up to you, you think they pass a resolution because they don't see a problem with it?
I don't think that they
or
see
prevent problems? And I bring it up and you smirk at me like I'm the problem here.
I think
when I'm
you're
explaining
the only one in this park right now that's walking around with a camera recording people and agitating people.
Well, you guys were as well. That claim you make of agitating, I'm going to ask you a cease and desist right now orally. You not say that unless you have evidence, because number one, it's false. It's not true. What you say can have an influence on her, and she's investigating a case right now that I'm a victim of.
So when
that I already feel that I already
and they said they didn't want to be recorded, and you still started doing it anyways. You weren't agitating them.
No, I don't believe I was agitating them.
I believe you were, and that's why you got the response that you got.
So you're making, I was the wrong party here is what you're saying?
I think that you're both wrong.
So you think I did something wrong?
That first, you don't know them. They don't want to talk to you. They don't want to talk to you. It's no different than if you're walking down the street not committing a crime, and I say, hey man, let me talk to you. You have the right to say, no,
that's
thanks.
Not true, sir, and I'll tell you why.
You do have that right.
You're talking about a citizen-to-citizen thing versus a police officer versus citizen thing. It's not the same thing. I went around all day asking people these types of questions. The worst problem I had was someone said no. They answered no. I don't want to talk to you about that. I respected people all day long.
But not those ones then?
Not these ones.
Why? Why them? Why did you choose them to not?
Number one, they were already committing offense. So as a government accountability person, I feel it's my duty to document the offense, because I didn't know what was going on. Number two, I felt like the alcohol they were drinking was affecting their personality, and I have experience with people that drink too much alcohol, they get violent. It's a known reaction of alcoholics, and they seem like the violent type of people. That's the vibe they gave me. Then I was well, I'm not answering your question, I'm starting to describe what happened. Those were a couple reasons why I started video recording. On top of that, I'm a government accountability person, so when someone says I can't exercise my rights, those are people that need to be educated that these are our rights that we have. So they seem to be, by the end of this, I come to the conclusion that they think our rights are criminal, and that criminal activity is their right. That's my opinion what happened. And you seem to think that both parties are to blame, where everything you have tonight so far, would you say you have anything more than hearsay?
On both sides.
Right. So you have hearsay on both sides, and you're making judgment against the victim. Are you really supposed to be blaming the victim for the crime that somebody else committed? You said both sides are wrong.
If I walk up
based on hearsay.
Talk to me. Yeah.
Do you want to talk to me right now?
I don't, but I have a job.
But you're talking to me. Right. That's why when I pointed out that the citizen-to-citizen relationship is different than the police-to-citizen relationship.
It's unprofessional though for me to turn my camera off and get in my car.
And you didn't seem to understand it. Well, I've had your officers in this Delhi Police Department do that exact same thing.
Well,
so they're under IA investigation now. See if they're going to get a write-up.
Anything that's within official capacity, such as a crime that's occurred, are they required to stand there and talk?
Well, when I ask them, when I say, can I ask you a question? And they say no, without knowing what the question is, could be a question about a felony, which if I'm reporting a felony and they deny me service, that's a crime on them. It's an actual crime. I said no. He said no. I said, why not? He said, because I don't want to speak with you. Not because I have another call to go on. That's an unequal treatment, or it's a denial of service.
Okay.
An unequal, I'm supposed to have equal access to law and services around here. That's not equal access. He'd answered the question likely for anyone else. We'll find out what IA says. You weren't here either, but you're already putting blame on me. And here's the thing. You can say I was wrong. That's not your job. You're not right or wrong enforcement. You're fucking law enforcement.
No, my job.
No, your job is fucking law enforcement.
I'm not gonna stand here and listen to that.
Well, then get the fuck out.
Stop cussing right now.
Get the fuck out. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
See what happens.
Here you go. Fuck you. I ain't stopping. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Please turn.
Well, I'll just say this from like the chief's point of view is it's freedom of speech.
Okay.
Like you can't. He even says you can't restrict speech. You know, you'd have to do more. You'd have to be screaming, yelling at, like if you have to rise the level like a disorderly conduct. So you got to be threatening or screaming. You know, I mean, instigating stuff other than just being upset and saying "fuck you."
And I sent y'all some case law on that as well. I think I sent it to you.
Yes.
And the key thing there for me that I see pop up again and again is threat. That's what really crosses the threshold. Once it comes across as threatening or a regional person, when your body cam's on,
They're on.
fuck you, fuck you. You cannot be the initiator of a complaint of cussing. So if somebody comes up and tells y'all he was cussing and yada yada, then you can do the public disturbance. But there ain't nobody that can hear me. There ain't nobody that's complaining. Well, lock me up then, buddy.
Well, if they come over here and start,
You can be the Delhi Police Chief hero. You can be the hero online.
Yeah.
You want to? What do you want to do? You want to threaten baseless threats, or are you going to actually follow through and arrest me?
I didn't tell you I was.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Are you saying that fuck you isn't a constitutionally protected case law established right? You told me to stop saying it.
No, I'm not going to have you sit here and yell in the park and get agitated with us because you're not getting the response that you want.
You're not going to have it, but I'm going to have it. You can ride away. Fuck you.
So what you're trying to do right now, fuck you too. What you're trying to do.
You just told a citizen to fuck you too.
You said the same thing to me. I'm a citizen
yeah, but
too,
see,
just like you.
no, you're not a citizen. You're in the capacity of a police officer.
It doesn't
You're
matter.
not in a citizen capacity.
I'm a person. I'm a human being first.
You're
period.
You have a duty and an oath.
And I will.
Did you take a duty to be a human being?
Yes, I did. That's me as a person. I'm a human being.
Do you understand that do you understand that there's
I'll let you talk. Spitting out right now are they're stupid.
Do you understand there's a resolution passed by the trustees, the governing body, that says you're supposed to be courteous to the citizens? And
if they're courteous to you,
no, that's not what the resolution says.
Well, then
is that what you think the resolution says?
Then fire me.
Oh, I understand. That's why I document. You guys are unaccountable. You are unaccountable people. You're not held to any kind of real count.
Yeah.
You're not.
Then go up and make it.
I file a complaint on December 31st. It's out of your all's file officially by January 1st as a norm. You call that accountability?
That's not for me to complain
to. You can cuss to the citizens as a police officer. See, there's a different, I can get emotional on stuff, but you start getting emotional and it's a problem. I get emotional, it's a right. You get emotional, it's a problem.
Right, though? That's a double standard.
No, it's not a double standard.
It's not?
It's two different standards to do two different roles in society.
So I'm supposed to stand there and let somebody treat me like I'm less than a human being?
I didn't say that, but what you're not supposed to...
That's not a double standard.
That
is exactly what you're doing. What you're doing is wrong.
Let's just say, if I'm doing that, no, I have a right to do this.
But the way you're doing it...
Do you know what I'm doing?
...is wrong.
From a legal perspective?
Yes, you're trying to agitate police officers.
I'm not trying to agitate you. Nope.
That's exactly what you're doing.
I came over here to report
not over here to
another violation of resolution,
so
another park violation.
Can we go handle that?
No.
Or would you like to stand here and talk?
No, you can't handle it.
Correct. So see, you don't want us to go handle that. You're coming over here.
So you're making another bad assumption as a police officer. The reason you can't...
I just asked you and you said no.
The reason you can't... Let me tell you why you can't handle it. They're gone. The game's over. They're gone. So it ain't because of me, like you were making the assumption, making me the bad guy again.
So you came over here to make the report of the criminal activity, but instead of wanting us to go and handle it, you waited until they were done to come up here and say it, to then agitate us, or attempt to agitate us, and make us feel stupid or dumb to appease yourself.
No, what I did is
exactly what you did.
Well, let me tell you from my perspective. I came up here because I think that it's cultural now. I found it out one, and we already talked about that, and I found out a second one, and it seems to be cultural now with this league. And you didn't seem to give
That's your opinion.
That's your opinion.
Yeah, it's that's what I came to report, my opinion. And you don't seem to really care about that. Instead, you would instead you keep interrupting me, buddy. So fuck you. There's a little teenager right there. Little teenager right there. You want to go get him as a witness or
Do you want to
something?
be banned from the park?
Is that what you want to do?
He was present and you're cussing. So like, I mean, if you want to go
Were
that
they
far,
cussing and you didn't ban them?
I didn't hear them cuss.
Did you ask them if they cussed?
No,
Doesn't matter. I wasn't in there. I didn't witness it.
You and me
I'm
go
standing
ask
here right now
everybody
witnessing.
else if they cuss.
I'd be glad to
today
take
in the
I'd be glad to take the time I spend in this park and spend it up on your police station with the fuck you sign as much time as I spend up here. I'm glad to do that. You want to take me in? You want to take me? You want to kick me out? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Why do I do this? Because I see a government across the board that's screwing us over. I see pedophiles in the federal government and the FBI that covered up those pedophiles, a president, a DOJ over multiple.
But is that us?
Let me finish.
Is that us though?
Oh, you want me to make it localized then?
I would like you to tell us why we're the problem, not just the government in general.
I was,
State,
let me tell you,
federal, or local
I'll
law
keep it to
enforcement,
Delhi.
right?
I can accommodate that.
Okay, let's hear.
I was up at Delhi Town Center.
Mhm.
Your police chief accused me of doing things I have proof I didn't do. He said I was trespassed. I was never trespassed. They gave me a time, place, and manner restriction that they treated like a trespassing illegally. He lied about me. He came in between me and a private company. A consensual relationship between me and a private company came between. Both him and them can't get their story straight. He said that he didn't even talk to him about that stuff, and they're describing stuff he said that they can't do business with me without him there. I said that day I felt threatened by one of the workers up there. Next day, they said they were going to send me a link to provide my evidence. Next day, I don't get a link. The next day or two, I go in, I talk to the officer. I'm told by Lieutenant Rich that Chief Jeff shut down the investigation and we will be collecting no evidence. Does that sound ethical to you before I go on?
Crime?
Well, it wasn't investigated, so it's unknown. I was reporting a crime. I felt threatened.
Feeling
what
threatened
were
is not a crime.
threats?
Well, I wasn't asked about the details of it.
You should have told the details if you felt threatened.
And
Well,
what
if
the
I was
threats
asked a
were.
little bit more, I mean, there's a lot to report when you're in a victim situation and you're shaken up.
But if you
But now
would've
this is my fault too. The fact I
Because you're
couldn't.
playing what if.
The fact no, this is real life. I'm not alleging these things. I'm telling you things as a matter of fact.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
So let me tell you
Why
a second.
are you
Okay.
taking it out on all of us that are all great police officers?
Did I take it out on you tonight?
I mean,
You're doing it right now.
You're doing it right now.
Did I take it out on you before I drove away?
but like,
While you
why-
were down
why
there,
are we
did I
doing
take
that?
it out on you?
Answer my question. Why are we doing that though? Because if like this is just an ongoing thing. So like you felt a certain way about a certain someone in the department, but then now we have to go around and do this to everybody in the department.
I don't think I do necessarily.
Okay.
Well, whatever
Well, I'm
this
allowed
is,
to-
maybe I
I'm
do.
allowed to
If you're
think
talking
one
about
way just like you
if you're
are,
talking about
so.
recording people, then I do this to most people in the department. That's what I do. I government accountability. And if there wasn't a camera here, and something comes up and we go to court and it's your word against mine, who do you think they take? Every single time.
Well,
Your
we wear
word.
cameras,
Your
so they
word.
go by that.
Your word. Well,
and all
here's
the evidence in the case.
so Delhi's done. So that's one example. Here's another example. I was video recording up at Rapid Run Middle School from a traditional public sidewalk, not on their property. I was told by an officer before that'd be legal. I was told by a police chief legal. I was even told you can record kids and publish them legal. You all give me cameras that I request be a public record with children on them, unredacted, all legal. You all can do it. I should be able to do it. And he said I could do it. That's what I did. I was doing a story that was brought up in the trustee meetings every year about traffic in front of CO Harrison. I was doing a comparison story. I was up there and then I was over there, right on a traditional public sidewalk, exercising freedom of press, one of the core values of the First Amendment. 1 of 5, 20% of our First Amendment values. And Lieutenant Rich is on the phone threatening me. You want to know why I'm doing these things? Because I see governments across the board, including Delhi government, that's doing terrible things. Look up New Albany. Do you know the name? I get it confused all the time. Lex Wexner. Do you know who that is? That's a problem to me. What he is, he lives in Ohio and he's got ties to Epstein and all that stuff. But what he's doing is he's taking money. Look up New Albany. He started in New Albany. That's a model. And they're integrating private with public, ultimately to have a private corporation running a government with the CEO as, in essence, the dictator. And what they do is they got politicians stuff bought out, they get kickbacks. Ohio, I think, is the 4th largest state with the most data centers. You want to know why your electricity bill's going up? Look at New Albany. A bunch of them are in New Albany. These are things that government is doing against their oath and to screw over the common citizen and benefit of the super rich. There's a reason the wealth gap every year is increasing. And the thing is when it comes to them or me, y'all side with them most every time. If it's powerful rich people or politicians or connected people, you're not on my side.
Well, I can't side with them because I don't know who the hell the guy is.
Look it up. These are the things people need to be informed about. These guys didn't have a clue. Did they report to you like it was going to be a crime that I was recording them?
No, nobody wanted to make an initiative.
Okay, because they were talking to me. I got the impression that they thought it was a crime. In fact, they said something articulate directly about it. That I'm not allowed to videotape them.
They just didn't want to be videotaped.
Well, they told me I'm not allowed to.
They can tell you
And so why I do this in Delhi, why I did it in Delhi tonight is because, in part because they don't understand the First Amendment. They think I'm committing some kind of wrong or crime here. They now understand the First Amendment. They know you ain't doing shit to me, right?
I think that's the fact that they got out of it, though.
Well, they will get out of it. If you guys do the right thing, and this guy gets some kind of menacing, I'm gonna be showing up in court and witnessing against him, and I'm gonna be talking about the First Amendment.
Well, I can tell you, if all he said was, I'm gonna snatch that camera, that's not menacing. That is not a crime.
Threatening to snatch a camera?
No.
Threatening to destroy it, is that a crime?
That could be different, but
That's different.
I didn't ask you if it was different.
So we're playing what if.
Yeah, we're playing what if.
Facts.
Right, I'm asking you what if he said he was going to destroy the camera. Huh?
I don't do what if.
Oh, you don't do what if? Okay.
If it's the fact in front of me, then I'll handle it that way.
Oh no, I answered honestly before. I gotta go back and look at the video, to be honest.
Me too.
I think I said he either threatened to snatch it or destroy it, but it wasn't either of those. There's a word that was like kind of
all he did was say, I'll snatch that camera, that's not a crime.
Okay. You know the Delhi Town Center? Mm-hmm. You know that I call it a road between the daycare, I call it a daycare or preschool.
Cut through.
Yeah, and the apartment building. Mm-hmm. It's got a double yellow line.
Mm-hmm.
Is that can you enforce traffic code on that?
It's private property.
So you can enforce traffic code? Okay. You can't enforce any kind of traffic code.
What do you mean?
Well, there's a reckless driving ORC code for private property.
For private property.
You could enforce that.
One for them.
Oh, so you can enforce some ORC code up there.
That's up to the state of Ohio.
Wow, I think I understand why you don't like what ifs, because it starts showing your ignorance. Because I asked you one thing and you made it like with confidence. No, we can't. And then when I call you out on it, it turns out, yeah, we can some.
So again, here we go.
Again, you got it wrong. No, not agitate. Pointing out that you got it wrong.
No.
Here's why. It's because
ignorance.
No, here's why. It's because I caught a school. Yep. Yep. You think it's okay to give the citizen what they give you instead of de-escalating?
100%.
Oh, you ain't into de-escalation, right?
I do.
You're in the meeting escalation with escalation, right?
I'm not escalating anything. Are you the one stepping towards
me? So
you
calling me names and stuff isn't escalating. I'm going to point out that there's probably, what, 3 feet between us?
Yeah.
I took a little baby step and you feel threatened? You want me to step back? You want me to step back?
I'm not raising my voice at you.
No, but you're insulting me. I think you're calling me names and stuff. Yep. So see, my opinion is that your duty is to de-escalate. Your opinion is to meet escalation with escalation.
In a situation, sometimes that's what has to happen.
How many write-ups have you had that were sustained?
You'd have to go file and ask for it.
I already got it at home. All I gotta do is pull it up. I'll post it on YouTube tonight. I'll say, look at this low-life piece of scum. If you start seeing him, start telling him what a low-life piece of scum he is. And when he calls you a low-life piece of scum back, file a complaint because he ain't following ordinance. He's disrespecting the trustees, not following ordinance.
Is it an ordinance or would it be a policy?
It's an ordinance. I'd have to see if it's a policy. I only know there's two. I know there's 2 ordinances that address this. You don't think I do my work? I make zero. While we're standing here insulting each other, you're making roughly, I'm going to say 40 an hour. I'm making 0. I'm making sacrifice for my country. You're fucking calling a citizen. This didn't cost me $400. I'm not about to buy more I'm not about to buy more space that cost me $400.
Why are you here benefiting?
I didn't spend time driving downtown to defend against a bogus restraining order that they dropped 2 weeks after I said I was going to file a bar complaint against the lawyer.
Other than yourself, who are you here benefiting?
Well, I have roughly 1,250 followers that watch me now, so they all benefit. I'm getting about 7 to 10 new followers a day. Mm-hmm. They will all benefit.
Do you get paid for that?
Do I get paid for it?
Yeah, like
0. No money. Everything I've done, I sacrificed. I do charity sometime, I can tell you. Here's the shit, this ain't the Delhi I grew up in. I had a guy tell me that I just ran into. He says, you got $1 as I'm passing him by the park. And I say, yeah, I'll pull over to you. And I went over, I ended up giving him all the change. I didn't have dollars, I didn't have bills. I gave him all my most all my change, and I gave him my $9 Taco Bell meal. And we talked. And he said that there was a 15-year-old girl doing meth on this parking bench up here. I talked to a different stranger roughly a year, 2 years ago. Different stranger, always coming up to the park. He walks from over there up to the library all the time. He says the kids have sex on these parking tables. The kids exchange drugs for sex in the restroom. And I'm wondering, here's what I'm wondering, is you guys have a resource officer up here? He goes around on the golf cart and stuff. You have cameras. What I'm wondering is how on my first night, like that I'm really watching this group of ball players, that I see at least 2 different fields having tons of beer, alcohol. How is it that you all never spotted it?
I'm not looking for it.
You don't have to look for it. You just, you turn your head while you're driving by because you're looking to see what's going on. Is there any crime in the park? And like half the guys are holding beers and they're sitting on coolers. And there's open beers that are like 12 packs that are sitting out that ain't even wrapped in brown stuff.
Would you say that that's a threat to anyone else? Is that a danger to someone? Is that going to harm someone that those guys had a beer?
Yes and no. Let me ask you this. When people drink too much beer, is it a semi-normal reaction for them to get violent?
I would say no.
You don't think that you don't think people that when they drink too much, there's some people that get violent?
Every person's different.
Yeah, but there's a pattern. And these are the things that I'll look up and I'll ask AI and I'll say, give me the truth, AI. And he will either make me look stupid or AI will make you look like you didn't.
Do you believe everything you see on the internet?
Say what's the truth. No, but AI, when I do AI, I research AI, I research another AI, and then I go out and I research law sites. I look at the ORC code, I read it. When y'all said that I was committing public disturbance, I said I need the code all the way down to the letter. At the end of that code, it was in essence, creating a disturbance without a reason. What's my reason? They're acting like I didn't have a reason. What's my reason? It was called freedom of press, on a story of public interest brought up in a trustee public meeting that they were alerted to by multiple citizens. And you all want to punish me, you all threaten me for that. And you wonder why I'm coming down on Delhi officers? Because you're not constitutional. Here's the thing. That scenario I just explained, recording from a traditional public sidewalk, I went around asking officers. Most of y'all said, yeah, that you're fine. You're okay to do that. Waterly, the SRO up there, that day said, you're fine to do that. And then the superintendent gets on the phone with the police chief, gets on the phone with the prosecutor, in a matter of hours determined I'm making a crime. Now after that, I said, Chief, you're gonna get a cease and desist letter for me because you're telling people I committed a crime that's not a crime, you're defaming me. And I asked him to check with the prosecutor again. He said he would. I called the prosecutor in the meantime because it's taken them over a month. It took hours to determine that I committed a crime. It's taken months for them to verify because I'm a member of the press that it's not a crime. These are multiple agencies colluding against me, against my fundamental rights. And here's the thing, is he said he couldn't come out and say, yeah, it is a crime. He can't keep doing that because it's trouble. So what he said is that the prosecutor's office said, we're not gonna prosecute. That way they can say it's a crime, but we're not gonna prosecute. You can intimidate without actually breaking the law. And these are the reasons I go after. Here's the other thing, and this goes to all of you. This is why all of you are bad on a fundamental level. I personally believe that taxation is extortion via coercion that results in slave labor. What's slave labor? First definition that comes up, labor that's not adequately rewarded. Who determines if the labor is adequately rewarded? In a free society, all the stakeholders coming to the negotiating table make an individual determination if they're going to be rewarded by the deal. If not, they freely walk away. In a slave society, one or more of the stakeholders brings to the negotiating table whatever level of threats, loss of property rights, or violence that's necessary in order to force one or more of the other stakeholders into accepting a deal they would never accept in a free society if given the choice. Your services are mandated. I don't have free choice to say no to them. I can move, sure, I was born here. I think I have a right to be born here and live here without being extorted. But let's say you say, hey, moving's a solution. Anywhere I go in the US, I got tax extortion, slave labor.
We don't pay taxes.
That's how I see it at my core. You are.
This is what we talked about last
You also are a victim of slave labor. I challenge you. Tell me where my analogy is wrong. I can tell you where it's wrong, but
We all pay taxes.
yeah, don't make it right or wrong.
So who's going to pay for the roads?
Who says we need roads? Who's going to pay for them?
Rich.
Who's going to pay? Well, you got to admit, there's some people that live in isolation, just like the olden days. They live out. They choose to,
Right.
and they're still paying for roads they don't use because they're forced to. So they choose to do one thing, like they're in a free society, and then they're forced to pay for something they don't want and they don't use because they're in a slave society. Just like this fire department levy coming up, right? Right? Fire department
We
levy.
need fire department services?
That's not the point. The point is, that's not the point. Whether we need them or not isn't the point. The point is that some people want them, some don't. The people that want them can get them. The people that don't want them, they don't have a choice. If this levy passes, even if the levy don't pass, right now, they're paying for them against their free will.
Would you say it would be smart of them to say they don't need police or fire services?
No, because some people want them, but they can't afford them.
Right. But
See,
those who say they just don't flat out need it, would you say you don't need police or fire services?
I would say I don't need them.
So
Yeah.
why did you need to ask an officer about people drinking beer in the park?
I didn't need to.
So, but you used the service, right?
I used
So
to
if you
what?
say, but you used the service.
Yes.
So if you didn't want or need to use that service, you needed it. You needed it because
I
you
didn't
wanted
need it. I used it because I've already paid for it, so I'm going to
would
get
it
my
be-
money's worth.
So would it be okay then to say that
The argument's at about a fifth grade level.
Okay for you to say if you voted no for the levy, those who vote no will not all be allowed or afforded those services, but those who said yes can afford them.
Yes, and I presented that. I had a debate with the chief.
You okay with that?
I had a debate with the fire chief, and I said to the fire chief, "Are you aware that law allows you to? If I go to my neighborhood and get all my neighbors to sign a piece of paper saying we don't agree with the fire levy and we don't want to pay, and we sign a waiver that says you all aren't responsible, he can legally, and the trustees pass it. He can legally, him and mainly the trustees pass that. They legally opt us out." Like we're in a free society and we get to choose to pay for that service or not. And then we don't get it no more. We get a bare minimum of it because y'all have a legal obligation to provide a bare minimum.
Right.
But we don't pay the levy, and we don't get all the normal services that everyone else gets. Like when I was paying the levy, they do great work up here. I told Doug, I said, if I'm forced to pay for services, I want your team. And so I keep it real. I don't say that about Jeff's team right now because I think Jeff is a sellout. I think some of the things he did, what I described, and I asked some of the officers, and they say that's an ethical violation. I looked it up on AI, so when I look it up on AI, it does get things wrong, but I'm always double checking stuff. In fact, on the ORC thing up here, I'm still in a fight over that. I don't know if you heard about the bus situation. You got a bus on that road I just described up there. It's one way each way with a double yellow in between.
Bus?
Yep. No flashing back lights on. They're picking up disabled kids. It's got the lift, which makes it a more serious crime in the eyes of the law. There's a park nearby, mitigating factor with kids around. There's apartment buildings there, mitigating factor traffic. It's right down, like 10 feet, 5 feet down is a crosswalk, mitigating traffic. And yeah, that school bus, I say that's an ORC code violation that you all can enforce. Part of the reason why, I forget what it's called, but it's like the Ohio, some kind of handbook that helps define what roads are, and that double yellow marking line helps define that as a road, but there's other things. And it's my understanding when I had a conversation with Lieutenant Sabers from Green Township, because I don't just count on AI, I don't count on talking to other officers, just like I asked you. I go to other police departments, I talk to lawyers I know, I talk to a lot of people, I do a lot of checking. Lieutenant Sabers was one, and he seems to agree with me. Sounds like that's enforceable up there. Sounds like you agree with other things, that Oak Hills isn't doing the right thing still. And the thing is, and here's the rest of the story there, just real quick. So then a private bus came behind it, also picking up a kid. Goes over the double yellow lines passing that bus. Here's what I believe. That bus in front had a legal obligation, and they're risking their T8 certification when they didn't have the stop sign and the lights on, which they're now doing based on my investigation. So that was a positive change in this kid's safety. The school bus behind it, if they saw that bus in front of it was loading kids, had a duty, even if there were two lines that didn't cross the double yellow, they had a duty not to pass that bus, whether the lights were on or the stop sign's out. If they're loading kids, you can't pass the bus. They not only passed the bus, but they went over the double yellow. That's reckless driving, even if it's private property. It's reckless driving on private property. I described pretty much the same thing to the officer that responded, Gertie. He's telling me it's a parking lot, that road's a parking lot. Then he tells me it's a driveway or like a driveway. And the thing is after 2 days, he still don't know if that's public or private property. What it is it's kind of like quasi property. And the problem is what we did in Delhi, and this really upsets me. It upsets me in here, and sometimes I apologize. Sometimes I probably don't come across the way I should, professional and all. It's a human shortcoming, personality shortcoming. I try to keep things real. But these things upset me to extremes because I had a 150 IQ at one point. I've lost a lot of my brain power. But I have times when my brain is back to that 150. It comes and goes. And I have understandings where I have visions of my opinion of what that brings in the future. Just like the Epstein stuff and stuff. And what is happening in Ohio, 4th highest tax, 7th to 8th highest real estate tax state in the nation. That's something to fight against.
Where?
Ohio. And when I saw Charlie Kirk get shot, do we all know who Charlie Kirk is? We know the story how he got shot. In my opinion, it was for his free speech. When I say there's a war in this country for our free speech, including in Delhi, when I had a sign, a mask, the Vendetta mask on my back neck, and I was riding up there by that street on Delhi Town Center, lady came out yelling, and she said she was shaking because of my mask, uncontrollably shaking. Someone responsible for kids. Y'all need to go, I'll let you go. That officer's gonna get written up. I don't have any major problems with you, ma'am. A little thing here or there maybe, but what he's doing, you do right the way you've done tonight. You haven't chimed in and stuff. You do right not to take example from him. He's gonna get a write-up. If he don't get a write-up, he's gonna get exposed. He's gonna get exposed on YouTube, and he's gonna, and I'm gonna start investigating him.
You wanna hear my opinion?
Yeah, I like opinions.
He's a great officer.
Okay.
He was my FTO when I first started here.
You think he's been a great officer since I came back right here tonight?
Do you think you've been talking appropriately?
I'll answer that question after you answer the question I asked first. Do you think he's been professional?
Huh?
Do you think he's been a great officer tonight since I pulled back up? You think it's okay, depending on how the citizen asked, to start putting them down, talking about their mom?
And people are screaming at us, and like we're talking to them nicely, trying to calm them down in a nice manner, that always works. And sometimes we need to get a little loud with them too. I
understand that. I don't think that was the situation here. I think that there is an approach, and not only that, but your department's been notified that I have disabilities related to this type of thing, and one of my reasonable requests was not to get yelled at, and that's exactly what he's doing. See, I could have a disability that has me react in ways where I'm cussing. I could even have a certain form of Tourette's. Now, if he don't have Tourette's and he thinks it's okay to respond to someone, he don't know if they have Tourette's or not, with Tourette's-like symptoms, and I'm doing it because I have a health issue, and he's doing it because he's making a conscious decision to do it, it's a problem. It's a big problem.
Another game just ended, and there's a white truck on the wrong side of the road down here somewhere.
Down here?
I'm going to drive down there.
Okay. I got your back, buddy.
Sounds good.
And I'm investigating you now, so I'll be looking for you.
I'm not investigating you.
I'm on you, though. Hey, if I don't release your personnel file tonight, I'm gonna give you $20. I don't have a lot of doubt. I mean, I don't doubt that guy very well could be a good officer for the most part. What he's bringing here to the table tonight is a history. A lot of what he's hearing by hearsay by his work buddies, I would speculate, combined with the experience he had with me tonight. And I'm not happy about that. He's sitting there telling them how they can drink beer in the park. I don't think that's good around all the kids and shit. That's why I'm finding fucking beer cans all over. It took me 3 months for them to clean up all the beer can shit. 2 or 3 months. These guys are obviously pro beer in the park. That's the way it seems. They want it to be my problem. Well, they either think it's my problem or they say it's my problem. They just want it to be my problem. I don't know which one's him. Oh, I see, that's him. Be interesting if this white truck that's on the wrong side of the road was somebody that was drinking up here that they let just drive away. So I guess it's legal to say you're going to snatch people's shit. Let's see how that goes over. Let me go up to Oak Hills local school district employees and say, I'm going to snatch your shirt. I'm going to snatch your hat. I'm going to snatch your car.